Good evening. It's another Thursday in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Eastern Caribbean, and time for your favorite show. Tonight, we have a very special show for you. I believe all our shows are special. Tonight, we chat with two amazing entrepreneurs and we hear a little bit about them, their story, and a very important thing that happened to them a few weeks ago, well, about a week or so ago. As you know, Vibes Cartel is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, or was in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm not even sure if he's still there, undertaking treatment. And these two entrepreneurs took the initiative to offer gifts to this very influential individual. Tonight, Uplift with Sion Marshall speaks with them, and you hear their story. And we can also talk about the impact of such collaboration with the very popular entertainer. Uplift with Sion Marshall begins right now. Yeah, and I'm back. Sion Marshall here, welcoming everybody who has joined and encouraging you to, as always, share the live on your page with your Facebook friends and their followers and so forth. I'm going to take the time to share the live and I'm going to give you the 5 seconds to share the live as well. All right, so let me do that right away. Uh, do-do-do-do. Where am I now? Yes. And as always, I thank you so much for joining. Kojo, good day to you as always, bro, and thank you so much for joining. All right, tuning in now. See, I take this time every week to share because I'm giving you the time to share as well, and I don't want you to miss any of the program. So I'm doing this while you're doing it, so you're not missing anything. All right. So I just shared it there. Let's see if I can probably do another share somewhere. Here. Yes. All right. So call up your friends, let them know that your favorite program, their favorite program, is on tonight. Uplift with Sion Marshall. All right. I'm just monitoring that to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Yes, yes, yes. Where am I now? Yes. Uh-huh. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm saying hold on because I have no clue. Yes. Um, I should be. Where am I? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yes, 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 yes. And okay, I'm currently on YouTube looking for my stream and not finding it. Okay. All right. So as I said, tonight we are on and we are chatting with two Vincentian entrepreneurs, two local entrepreneurs who should be joining us in a couple of minutes. Uh, there has been a lot of discussion over the presence of Vibes Cartel in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, there is no denying that this young man is a, well, I say young man, but this individual is a very popular, influential entertainer. Um, and whether or not he went and saw the Prime Minister, whether or not he did anything, it would have been impossible for him to be there incognito because he's just very influential and popular. And so he was going to be treated as royalty, as the royalty he is in the minds of those who follow his music and who support him. So uh, I think a lot of the discussion that is happening around his presence there and the fact that he's engaging with uh, members of government is really non-talk. But what has he done? What I've seen is I saw him in a video with artists. He's meeting with artists, soca music, soca performers, entertainers, and so on. He met with them and he was discussing, I guess, ins and outs of the business with them. He took this opportunity to encourage individuals, young men, individuals to steer from crime, steer from violence, and he gave his reasons explaining that the outcomes are obvious: death or prison, and that's positive. He did a promotional video for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Again, that's extremely positive. He is there on medical reasons, and that, even if he says nothing in terms of a promotional video, just the fact that he's there, someone with influence, someone with money, someone with means, deciding to address their health issues in St. Vincent and the Grenadines speaks volume to what we have there. And so he doesn't have to say anything. That alone is a positive for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And individuals who follow him and may not follow a number of other things like politics and so forth would be more in tune with what is going on here because he's here. They'd follow St. Vincent and the Grenadines because he's here. And as well, I saw him with these. I saw him at Calvert Jones's shop or establishment. I saw him with these two young ladies. And tonight on the program, we have the two young ladies with us, and they'll be chatting with us a little bit, telling us about their story first of all, what they do, what their uh, type of business is, and so forth, and what sparked the idea to get involved and collaborate with Cartel, and then ultimately what has been the outcome so far. So this evening, we talk with these ladies. I am going to introduce one of them now. Now, I must tell you, and she'll explain, but she's a very young, busy entrepreneur. She's been going all day, and apparently she's still going, but she's taking the time to join the program. And so the lighting may not be the best, but I really appreciate her sacrifice and her willingness to do this under all circumstances. So I'm going to introduce her right now. Not the best lighting, but let me say good evening to Jariah Fraser. Okay, I put type. Yes,
Yeah, good
Jariah
night.
Fraser. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you
Uh,
for inviting me here tonight.
Absolutely. I saw the video on TikTok on the Prime Minister's page, and I thought, wow, this is interesting. But even before that, I remember seeing something about your business on social media. I believe it was on Instagram.
Ah,
And so, one of the things I really appreciate and I'm proud of is to see young people getting involved in entrepreneurship in business. And so that jumped out at me. And so I think I took this opportunity tonight to invite you so you can tell us a little bit about the business, tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we could chat about the whole idea of meeting cartel and what that meant for you and for your business. So tell us a little bit about your business, Jaria, why, when it started, and what propelled you to start it.
okay, so my business started back in 2019. It basically started as a college project. In college, I did agriculture science and entrepreneurship, and a part of that program, we had to develop either a product or a service. And I decided to do a product. The reason I decided to do it was because, for me, one, I can't use certain products because of my sensitive skin. One of the products that I can't use at all is off. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to see if I could make another alternative using local products that I can find here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I started looking into plants that are really great repellents. So neem, lemongrass, peppermint, stuff like that. So upon researching, I decided to make my own blend of oils and see what I can do, what I can turn those into, whether it's a cream form, a spray form, to see how I could bring my own products to the table to provide something for people who have similar issues or maybe can't use it, or just to provide some form of natural repellent, you know? So that was basically the main reason behind it. So it started off as a college project, and as time progressed, I decided, you know what, I don't want this to just be a college project. I want to branch this off into a business. So I came up with Ria's Cosmetics, and with Ria's, we do mosquito repellents, muscle rubs, hair gels, you name it, we do it. You understand? So that is basically the concept of Reals, trying to create local products using local ingredients found in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to give a better alternative.
And this business, Jerry, this has been funded exclusively by you, or have you had support, financial support, outside of yourself?
Uh, Outside of myself, no. I have no other financial support outside of myself and my parents. Um, Basically, over the duration of the years, I have gained some opportunities in terms of working along with Corey's. Jean Johnny was one of the first persons who actually reached out to me to allow me to be in like a supermarket or a pharmacy, and then Secret Graves would have reached out to me. So I had some form of contract arrangement with them, but currently, right now, I am working on trying to open my own space and everything. So that's basically where we're at currently.
What is your level of production like? Let's say, for example, I know some folk in the US, a good friend of mine, they have a show every single year, which reminds me, I didn't hear much about it this year, but they have an exhibition and an expo every single year, and they focus on taking products out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and bringing it to the US. So producers like, um, what's her name, about the cruise ship berth,
See?
she does the soaps and so forth. I can't remember her name now, my word. Right?
Dazies.
Yes, Jazzies and others have benefited from the exposure of that expo. What's your level of production like now? Um, Getting the raw material and turning out what, two, three, 400 cases. What's your level of production?
So basically in 2022, I actually would have partnered with Invest SVG. At the time, I would have been speaking to, I think, Peter. Yes, if I'm correct. After him, I got a contact with an Australian upon traveling to an entrepreneurship workshop, and I made some arrangements with them in terms of distribution. So I'm actually distributing to the Australian market, so my product can be found there, right?
Wonderful.
And then I do have specific people like in America and Canada who I would literally send products to distribute to me so people can purchase, etc. Right? So that's basically how I go about it, right? But I'm trying to find other ways. I'm trying to find other alternatives, see what other platforms I could reach, who other um, wholesale marketers and etc. I could reach out to. So yeah, currently that's kind of where we're at.
So basically, what you've just said, if I were to summarize rather, what you just said is your products currently are available in Australia, in the US, and in Canada.
Yes.
But in the US and Canada, are they in a specific location, or do they have to contact someone to get your
Yes.
product?
So normally they would have to contact someone. Once they contact me and ask me if I distribute to America or wherever, I normally tell them that there are people there who I normally send the products to, that you could reach out to them. This is how you can contact them, XYZ, and they would just go about it from that way. I would make the arrangements and that's how we get about it.
Okay. Um, no, I know this show is seen in the US, it's seen in Canada. And so people watching now would be interested, and I know people are going to reach out to me, and I can assure you, if anyone does, I'll be putting them straight over to you. But how would you rate the success or the growth of your business since 2019? You said you've had partnership with Investors VG.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that meant that you've actually participated in everything Vinci Expo. But in terms of your exposure and the growth, how would you describe that exposure and growth since you started in 2019?
Um, to be honest, I think the road for me has been a bit difficult, but I actually grew to appreciate the difficultness because currently I I feel like I have to push myself into places and spaces that sometimes would be uncomfortable, but I have to make the extra push to see who I can speak to get my business out there, see how I can market myself. Um, from 2019 to now, I could say I'm probably becoming a bit more vocal business wise. In terms of letting people know, like, okay, this product exists. It's been here since 2019.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of people right now, especially since 2022, since my article from One News, one person I could say who has been constantly pushing me and giving me platforms to be on is Candyman. I could say that he's somebody who's really and truly, he hits me up to say like, okay, I think you could be in this specific expo or participate here, or I'm gonna invite you here, bring some products, do this, do that, because I'm the type of person, I'm very shy. I'm not
Mhm.
a vocal person. I prefer to push people to be in the forefront for me and just direct them. That's me as a business person.
Okay.
But right now, we're being a bit more vocal, business wise. So
And that
it's been different from then. A lot
mhm,
of things
mhm.
have changed
Okay.
in that regard.
Okay. Fantastic. Now I'm going to show this video that I took off of the TikTok page of the Prime Minister. I had to mute it because there's music in the video,
Yeah.
and I don't want YouTube to. Yeah, that location is a little better. So I'm seeing your face now better there with a little more light.
The light.
Yeah, because we're not seeing you at all.
Yeah, I was trying to shift, but some rain was coming there.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah, so if you like it in front of you as opposed to behind you, might be better. So if you turn around so that you like to be hitting in your
Yeah,
face. Yeah.
better now.
Um, yes, this is slightly better. Yes. Um, so I had to mute it because I don't want YouTube to block my video because of the music. But I'm going to show the video, and then we would talk a little bit about the interaction, and what drove you to engage a shy person, as you said, what drove you to do this, and what the expectations are from it, and so forth. So let's just talk a little bit of a 30-second clip, and we'll chat when the clip is done. There's a lot of music in the clip. He's talking. Not only you know what he's saying, but his song was in the background, and I didn't want YouTube to block the entire video just because of 30 seconds of his song. So that's you there giving presenting gifts to Vibes Cartel. First of all, well, I guess you mentioned Candyman already, and I know Candyman was very much involved, but I don't
Yeah.
want to preempt and suspect. I want you to tell us, how did that come about?
Yeah. So what as you mentioned a while ago, and as I mentioned, Candyman would have reached out to me and told me that he's invited a group of people to speak to Vibes Cartel, to introduce him to us, to see what we could probably learn from him, business wise, musically, etc. So I said, okay, no problem, I'll come. I decided to myself, you know what, this is a perfect opportunity to let him know about my business while he's here. And as you know, too, we have like our whole dengue outbreak happening here in Civic right now.
Right.
So one of the things I was told that he was asking for is mosquito repellents. So I decided to, introduce him to my product. When I got the opportunity to speak to him, he actually said to me that he thinks I'm a really shy person because throughout his whole time talking to everybody, I was literally just there not saying much or whatever. But I said to him, my thing is just to listen to see to what I could learn before I speak and stuff like that. But I presented him with different blends of my products. So I gave him a mixture of repellent with neem, um, mixed with peppermint, um, lemongrass mixed with peppermint. I gave him citronella mixed with lemongrass. So I gave him a blend of different repellents. Um, we spoke briefly about 5-10 minutes. He told me he would reach out to me to see if he can do anything for my business as time progresses. As he comes back here, we could always chat, etc. So I was really and truly happy for the opportunity. I feel like he gave me a lot of tips business wise too. I must say he gave a lot of business tips. Um, even a lot of motivational, He was very motivational, I should say. Very, very motivational. Encouraged me a lot to keep pushing. So it was a great experience for me.
And in terms of, do you anticipate or are you hoping that in the same way you see big producers spending a lot of money with celebrities to get their products out there, are you hoping that somehow once Vibe Cartel uses this product and is seen to be using this product, that hopefully that influence can help to spur and grow demand for your business?
Yes, I actually do. And since I must say since the video was posted, a lot of people have been reaching out to me. A lot of people, business wise, a lot of foreigners have been reaching out to me. So I'm very grateful that that happened. To be very honest. So
Now,
yeah.
now, you see the benefits clearly, and you're already seeing the benefits of a simple gesture of giving him a couple of the blends of your products. Um, when you say he spoke to a few individuals, what was that event like? You were there as a producer,
Mm-hmm.
but who were some of the other um, individuals or areas represented in that setting that you attended?
Um, we had a lot of local ambassadors. So we had like a lot of local musicians. Oh Lord. Hey, you hearing me?
I'm hearing yes.
All right. So we had a lot of local musicians, a few business owners, artists, painters. Yeah, I think everybody in the room, I think, was familiar with one another to some extent. There's nobody who wasn't familiar with one another. A lot of mostly musicians, musical artists. I think they wanted to know, like, a lot about the musical aspect.
Right, right,
Yeah, there
naturally.
were there were probably like 3 to 4 business owners in the room. We had like a lot of news outlets, but yeah.
Do you think that the appreciation shown from Vibes Cartel for your products would translate to local appreciation? I know a lot of, I don't know what your story is, and I don't really want you to say it because I don't want anybody to feel like they're speaking one way or other about Vincentians.
Yeah.
But one of the challenges we have as Vincentians, I know I'm one of them, is sometimes local support isn't forthcoming, from our people. But do you think, have so far, and you said people are reaching out to you, do you feel, is it your experience that the appreciation shown by Vibes Cartel for your product is helping to grow appreciation from our local Vincentian customers?
Yes, I actually do think, the fact that he shouted me out and he spoke to me and we were posted together actually push helped to push the business a lot. Um, sometimes Vincent and I think for me, just from like um let me say it how to say it this way. Just by scoping out the market itself, right? Um for me, I think Vincent and sometimes they have the tendency things have to be trending in order for them
Right.
to pick up on things, right? So you could say that now the business has reached a point where it's trending because of the shout out. Yes, I think a lot of people are now more familiarized and now trying to say, okay, yeah, well, this actually was around for a good while, and we could see how it's going or whatever. But outside of the shout out, like, I've been present. I've been doing my business for a good while. I've been trying to push it, whether individually on the shelf in a supermarket, whether outside of Stevenson, regionally, internationally, however it is. But as I said, the shout out, I would say, basically helped to push this round more
Okay.
this year.
Okay. And earlier you mentioned Invest SPG. Are you still working with Invest SPG? I know they offer a lot of support for local businesses through local exposure, and also overseas. Are you still working with them?
No, I stopped doing work with them from 2020, 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm still in close contact with a few of the persons who work there.
Okay.
So we do have a good relationship. Sometimes they might message me and say, "Oh, hey, like, I think you should tap into this market, or I'll see what I could do for you here, or I know you're here in this specific area, but let's see how we could go from here." But they no longer work there too, so I think that's probably one of the reasons why I stopped like partnering with them closely. But I did say that this year I'm gonna try to reach out with them to see who I could get on board from there.
Right. Right, 'cause that's I think that's important. I know there has been, like you said, some changes at Invest. Annette Mark is no longer there, Peter is no longer there, and so forth.
Yeah.
Jamila Soso is not there, but the organization is still there, still strong, vibrant, and growing. So I urge you to make reconnect with them, and partner with them to see what assistance, what help in terms of development can be offered to you to ensure that your business grows sustainably. And also, like I did mention, I would reach out to my very good friend in the US, whose organization is a part of the expo every year in the US, and see if I can make that link for that expo as well for you. So I'll keep that in mind, and you'll hear from me after the show.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Jerry. I know you're busy. I know you're busy. I know you're actually on an errand, and I'm keeping you from your
Yes.
errand. So let me
Yeah.
not keep you any longer. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.
All right. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye bye. That was Miss Jariah Fraser Peters, who has her own business, Ria's Cosmetics, making repellents and so forth from local products. And so we are so happy to have Jariah with us. Listen, if you go into a supermarket anyway and you see Jariah's products, Ria's Cosmetics, don't be afraid to pick up a repellent and so on. I myself, I have a challenge with I have very sensitive skin as well, and offer those things in as much as they help with the repelling of insects, can do real damage to your skin. So if you're like me, you go you see in the supermarket, or contact her. She's on Instagram. She's on social media. Contact her so that you can get your own product, locally made from local products, sustainable from Ria's Cosmetic. Now, I did mention that there were going to be two individuals. We have the second individual here, and I'll tell you this: in 2018, when Uplift with Sion Marshall started, this designer appeared a as a guest on the show. And as a matter of fact, I tell you, we had a full catwalk session at Russell Cinema that night. It was such a fantastic program I had interviewing Shanice. She became my very good friend after that. And so it is really my pleasure to introduce reintroduce to the Uplift audience, Miss Shanice Mayer. Shanice, good evening.
Good evening.
Girl, it's a long time I didn't see you.
Yeah, like for a dinner.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
You good? Well,
Yeah.
I see you making waves, and you've always been making waves. Top designer. tell the audience a little bit, reintroduce yourself a little bit about Shanicia, where you started. I noticed that there's a fantastic promotional video that you did with the Tourism Authority or the Ministry of Tourism. Fantastic. So just tell the listeners, the viewers, about Shanicia Mayes, where it all started, and the fact that you've done all this amazing thing over the years.
Okay, so I'm Shernica is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, originally from Georgetown, which is the countryside of St. Vincent. Started designing from since I was 9. And from since then, I feel like if I hit the ground running, because I've been participating in a lot of different fashion shows, but it only take that one break, that could help you to get to the next level. But I've been participated in New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, the reality TV show Mission Catwalk in Jamaica, um, fashion show in Tortola, Summer Sizzle, Tobago Fashion Week. I'm gonna forget some of them. Barbados, St. Lucia, Fashion in the Street, our own local Fashion Caribbean, year after year. So it has been a lot.
So you experience in this business. You've been around. Which of
Wow.
those, if you were to pick a favorite or most memorable, which of those events would you say stands out?
Every one of them is different and unique in their way. Why you
Okay, okay, all right. So I see again. I mean, I remember when I was
So, for
younger.
example, when I did Paris Fashion Week, that would have been a really big thing. So it's
Mm,
like getting to Paris. I mean, I never really, because, most time you get opportunity and you don't want to mess it up. And in your mind, you're like, you hope nothing go wrong. So I never really get to enjoy the fact that I went to Paris Fashion Week until after I came back. I feel like I could have breathed and be like, I went. And it was
okay,
good.
okay.
So
You
yes, that,
know,
that one stood out as well.
my own experience regarding fashion
Uh-huh.
started, and it's limited to. I don't know if you know this, if you're familiar with this, but back then, CNN used to show this program every Sunday morning called Styles with Elsa Clench. I used to wake up every Sunday morning to watch that half-an-hour program on CNN, around 7:30, depending on the time zone. But just to see the different models, well, no, Styles wasn't just about models. She did like painters and interior designers and different types of individuals. But that's essentially where my whole appreciation for fashion and
Started.
support came about. That's where it started, and that's what helped it. In terms of local work, what are some of the things that you design at home? I know, I would probably, I see your Instagram pages. I see you put out different collections, swimsuits and so forth. What are some of the things that you do design? And if I were to ask you for your most recent, apart from the one that we're going to talk about just now,
Mhm.
that one, before that one, what was one of the more recent hits that you designed?
Well, most times, for the recent hits, it's really our own local ladies and gentlemen. For example, when our parties, our local parties, are really and truly have our local people supported the designers really well,
Okay,
because everybody wants to stand out when they go out to whatever all inclusive party they're going. So it's
okay.
really that. Lately, I mean, before we used to have a lot of fashion shows, but lately our fashion shows has been our all inclusive parties.
For real, for
Mhm.
real. You are absolutely right. I mean, these the it's such a fashion show. The ladies come out, and even the men are competing as
Yeah.
well. Really decked out as even Shanicia, the beach parties are fashion shows, not
Yes.
just not just the ones where they dressed up, but even the swimsuits and so forth. Do you do work also in designing for Miss SVG pageant?
Yes, I have done even last year I did the swimsuit cover ups and China did the swimsuits.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now, as I can remember, Shanicia, this is your full-time gig. How is
Yeah.
how is how is life doing for you doing this full time?
There is no other life different than work. What do you mean? How is life? Life is the work.
I mean, but like, do you find it a struggle as, and I'm not just talking about the fact that you're a designer, but an entrepreneur. In other words, that's a business. So if people not pay you, you can't eat because you're spending your time to do this frock, and I'm using the word frock, or to do this swimsuit, or to do this piece, and the expectation is when I'm done, I expect to be paid.
Yes, we depend on the customer as much as the customer wants us. It's like, I mean, you hold in your breath for their salary as much as they hold in their breath for their salary. You're like, I hope she get paid. Because no, it's really, and then as you know, people's salary, in order for you to decide that you're gonna come to a designer and get a piece of garment to go to whichever event, it's a sacrifice, because
Right,
these days everything is high,
right.
everything. And how you going to say, okay, then you know what, let me leave this part of my life, sacrifice this, so that I would be able to go to a designer. So we really do appreciate all our customers, because
Yeah, I
the
got
salary
you.
percent is not so great.
I get you.
And then, and it's very easy for people to say, oh, just raise your prices, but then raising your prices affects your cash flow.
Right, right. You
Because
essentially pricing yourself out.
yes, because at the end of the day, you can't just be like, okay, well, it is what it is.
Mm,
No,
hmm.
we have meet each other pathway. I mean, still
Absolutely.
trying to make a profit, because after all, it's a business. But
Right.
a lot of times, you really and truly have to be bargaining. Okay, so I can do this at this price. You know, trying to see how we can help each other out.
Mm. What is it? What is your favorite? What is it? I mean, I guess I believe because I believe everybody has a favorite. What is your favorite type of garment designing? What gives you the most thrill? I mean, I know you design everything, but is there a favorite that you have? If somebody says, for example, I want a wedding gown, do you get thrills at doing a wedding gown or so forth? What's your favorite type of garment?
I think for me, over the years, I think they have seasons for me, because there are times when I really love swimsuit, because I've been doing swimsuits for a while and I really like
Right.
to do
Yes.
swimsuits. And there was a time when it was workwear, because a lot of ladies, I'm thinking, okay, instead of having just boring work clothes, to see them every day looking their best, that was also a good time for me. I'm trying to figure out, no, I don't think I have a favorite right now,
Okay.
because right now I think I just working in survival instead of my creativity.
Okay. Okay. I guess that is based on necessity. That's how times are, and so you just have to do what you have to do. Um, I noticed, I listened to your promotional video, and something that came out that I didn't know is that you are also an artist, and that will now take us into your most recent hit. But tell us a little bit about that. I mean, well, I guess Georgetown have plenty because I mean, of course, Dinks is there, Donny
Yeah.
Collins is an artist. My good friend, and you probably wouldn't know him, but his name is Alexis Valentine. They call him Desi. He lives in the States, but as a
Mhm.
young boy going to St. Martin's, he was a brilliant artist. I guess that thing, that skill, that talent comes out from Georgetown. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I've been drawing since I was a child, actually. Like, for example, my mom and my sisters, because I can't even remember this situation. That's how long ago it was.
Mhm.
They keep giving me this story where my sisters caught me drawing on my mom's sheet, and apparently it was a new set she got for her birthday, right? And they came in and they said, "No, Shani, mommy gonna beat you. Look what you do." And I was like, "No." And then they called mommy, and mommy came in, and mommy said, like sometimes frustration gets you so bad that
Right.
you can't really do anything. She was like, "What will Shani do?" And I was like, you see, mommy like it so. She said, watch your Shani do.
You escape a good cut skin, a good piece of licking
Yes,
that.
I
You
know.
made a quotation. You made a quotation that stood out to me in that promotional video. I thought, wow. You said your mom told you
Artists don't make
artists only make money after they're dead. You
yes.
know, and the truth is they don't make the money because they're dead. The family make it, their estate make it, but all
Yeah,
of the big pieces of art from Picasso or whatever are now worth so much money, but those guys are dead.
yeah, they don't get to spend it. So I was like, let me sew some clothes. And
Did you learn to sew at home from your mom, or did you take the sewing classes at school as a subject? Where did that start?
home with mommy.
Okay.
I did it in Barbados, but apart from that, I did a course in Barbados. But apart from that, I was already doing it because the teacher in Barbados, she keeps saying, because back then I was really small, so she was like, small fry, that is not the route. And I'm like, but we're going to end up the same place. But because I was self taught, it was really hard for me to go the route that she wanted me to go. And in my
Mm,
mind, I know a shorter route that I could get to
right,
the
right,
destination.
right.
But then, with time, now that I am doing a lot of patterns, because she was really form with pattern making. And then now I get to realize how important the pattern is because my shortcut is not really a shortcut because it's freehand. But every time you have to do that style over, you have to do it from scratch. But if you had make a pattern, you just
Right.
copy it. So
So
now I
it's
get
more
to
efficient and
understand.
so on with the
Now
pattern.
I get to understand what Miss Penko was saying. But back then, I just
Hmm.
to the
You
end.
want to do it fast away. But I'm sure also if Miss Penk could see you now, she would go small fries doing big things anyway. So I'm sure the appreciation for your own growth and development
That's
would
true.
stand out.
But
Now tell us
it's
a little
just
bit about this piece. There's a video which I've seen on the Prime Minister's TikTok page of you giving something that you designed and made to Vibes Cartel, who was in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for health reasons. Tell us a little bit about that motivation. What went off in your head that made you think maybe I should do something for Vibes Cartel?
okay. So my friend Chinese Hendrickson from Layu, she was like, "You keep drawing and drawing. No cartel here, drawing." So I was like, you know what? I go try. I go try. I just hope. Sometimes second guess yourself. But like, let me try. Let me see if it could come out like him. And I
Uh-huh.
had a piece of fabric. It was just a rectangle piece of material. And I say, you know what? Let me just, because I've been playing with the drawing and trying to figure out, because when you're drawing people, you need to be careful because you want them to look their best, and you just want it to come out just like how,
Yes,
that person
yes.
is. And while I was getting closer to the end of it, I said, wait, it actually looked like him. So I post it on my WhatsApp status. And when I post it on my WhatsApp status, everybody keeps saying, I hope you're giving him the painting, and I hope you're giving him the painting. And I'm thinking, it's not even on canvas, it's a piece of fabric. We're going to do. And then I just say, you know what? Let me just go get more materials. I went in town, get some material by Lanes, and sew up on my jacket. And that original piece of material that I drew him on, I sewed it onto the back of the jacket when I was finished sewing the jacket.
And I saw that. And then there's also this other
The head.
accessory. That's the word I'm going to use. Yes, explain that.
Okay. So a lot of time when I'm doing clothes for people, I don't just want to show my side. I want a part of them within it. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna have it, they're going to wear it, and I want them to like it. So I start going through his page and say, trying to get to know the person more, see what he like, what he don't like, the colors that he draw to, and so forth. And I realized that he like orange. And then I noticed he keep tying his head with bandanas. And I'm like, I sure I could make a headpiece that he could just pull on. That is easier than for him to tie one and then tie the other one. And I start drawing and I came up with this. So if he wants, he could take down the mask area, and if he wants, he could put it back up. And the hoodie, same thing. So if he wants full coverage, he can. And if he wants space to do whatever, whether eat or whatever he wants to do, he can. And that's how that headpiece came along.
I'm going to show the video. I'm going to show the video of you of the product so that those individuals who are watching can see exactly what we're talking about. So I'm going to show it and show that interaction between you and Vibes Cartel as he presented him with the Obama jacket. Why you call it Obama jacket? That's the name? Because we're not
Yeah,
sure.
that's the name. That's the name. I didn't make it up.
Okay, all right. So let's look at that video.
Somebody show me upon a phone. Yeah, bad. You see? Yeah. One Gaza badness.
So that's the jacket right there, the Obama jacket and the picture of Vibes Cartel.
This
It
here,
does,
this here,
it does bear his likeness a lot. It does, I must say.
Tough. I'm
And
like,
his
this
name
man
is
forgot where when I cut. This man way upon the plane.
You see, you hear that? Yeah, way up on the plane.
Oh,
And
shit.
there's a
This
map of
is
St.
the
Vincent
island
and Grenadines
itself.
there.
Oh, yeah, bad like AIDS.
Jeez.
Man.
Okay.
That's it, bad like AIDS.
So, I realized that you like to tie your head with the bandanas. So I made like a head. So can we try it on? Because that's the only way you would be able to see it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So I realize that sometimes you like to
Boom,
do
boom.
this.
Yeah.
Now, when the music started to play, I had to mute it because I don't want YouTube to block my video because of the song from Vibes Cartel because of copyright infringement. So I just muted that because the song started to play. So unfortunately, I wouldn't hear what he's saying now. But he seemed quite pleased with the work, Shernica. What was it? What was the feedback like to you for you even after the camera stopped rolling?
He had loved it. He loved it really. And the thing is, he posted in his story that same night, and then after that time span, because the story has a time span.
Yes, 1 hour.
It
Oh,
again,
1 day, sorry, 24 hours. Yes.
yeah, he posted again a few days after Saturday. He really liked it because sometimes people give you that exposure one time, but the fact that he do it again, that was amazing because I was like, I didn't even expect it.
Nobody jacket looks good. The paint, the drawing of him on the back, it's him. So naturally, it's a personalized.
Yeah.
It, I mean, he can go and shop at any of those high brand designer places, but somebody else would have on something that he's wearing. In this case, this is something that's personalized. His photo on the back, his lens on the back. You have the map of St. Vincent going into the front and so on. I mean, this was done for him, and he had PC. He ain't going to find that nowhere else. So naturally, that individualized thing that you gave him is something that I'm sure that he definitely appreciated, and he showed that. He definitely showed that. In terms of the response from the general public now, since that has happened, what has that been like?
Okay, well, everybody keep asking me where can they buy the headpiece and where can they buy the jacket. No, and I've been getting orders worldwide: Australia, Ghana, England, America, Canada, for America, New York, New Jersey, Jamaica, Bahamas, Cayman Island, Grenada, Trinidad. And the thing is that like I'm still working on the logistics of getting these orders flowing because you have to take shipping into consideration, a website, um, and so forth. Because I need to be able to track people's stuff. I don't want to make a mess of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I can understand the logistics in truth. The thing about it though is that I guess if they want it enough, they will pay for the shipping because shipping is expensive, especially courier express shipping, whether it's FedEx or UPS or what have you. That's not cheap, and that's the only way you can really say track properly where it is and that
In
kind of thing.
to get things in is a little bit easier than getting things out.
Okay, okay. Well, when I saw this though, I was really happy for you, and I thought this could be a different kind of break, but a big break nonetheless, because now this is uh, a celebrity endorsement essentially,
Yeah.
and companies pay millions of dollars to have those type of things, and here you are potentially getting it. The Vibes Cartel, one of the most influential Caribbean personalities, and you're talking about the fact that he's global, so the orders are coming from all across the world, and I'm really really happy for that. So now, Shirley, so basically, you're going to have to now start to look at those type of issues, logistical issues, website, and so forth,
Yeah.
to make sure people can access and access you readily through the internet and be able to order.
Yes.
Do you still work along with have that partnership with Invest SBG in terms of business support and support?
I didn't hear.
I'm asking about your relationship with Invest SBG. What it is like? Is it a relationship where they work along with you work along with them, and there's the provision of business support and support? Is that the relationship that you have?
I've done stuff with Invest SVG, but it has been a long time. A long time.
All right. Well, I know within the recent years, especially with tourism and all of these the things that can be attached to tourism. Invest SPG, Tourism Authority, and so on have been working together, pushing things out. Maybe now is a good time for you to re-engage them and see exactly what can be done
Yeah.
as part of this whole wider thrust that the country is seeing. Because I tell you, and you can attest to it, the publicity that St. Vincent and the Grenadines received for that week or so of Vibes Cartel visit has been really phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Janicia, it's
It's
been really
and
great talking to you. And unfortunately, we don't have the girls to model on the stage like we did the last time. You know.
but I must add,
Yes.
a lot of times we see these persons on TV and we don't get to like know them and we just know what they're putting out on the internet. But this couple, they have really good energy, and you don't feel less than or anything. Like they have really good energy, and it was a pleasure meeting them.
I know. That's
Yeah.
now that's an endorsement for them. They endorsed you, now you're endorsing them, and I think that's quite positive because I know that there was a lot of negative vibe coming from certain commentators within St. Vincent and Grenadines about his visit and his interaction and his engagement. So it's really good to hear you speak this way of them and endorse them in such a
They
way as really good people.
do. They really do.
Okay. All right, Janicia, thank you so much for being a part of the program. I really appreciate it. I know you had little issues and support. I'm connected earlier, but you really made
Yes.
the effort, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye bye. That is Miss Shanicia Mez, who, as you can see, as you saw from the video, did her bit and did her thing for Vibes Cartel that you appreciate. And at the end, you hear it talk about the fact that uh, the couple, Vibes Cartel and his wife, are really good people, genuine people. And of course, she can speak that way because he offered tangible support to her, something that some of the talking heads have never done. Never done. Let me thank all you guys for logging in, by the way. I have a few minutes, so before I go, let me shout out Claudette Ambris, shout out Kojo, Miss Branch, Anika Branch, my good friend, my sister Gemma, Jolicia, my cousin Tika, Rankin, good night, buddy. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, good to see you. My good friend Rankin Daniel down there in Barley. Really appreciate always having you guys log on and share this program with me every Thursday night. I hope you enjoyed tonight's program with those two entrepreneurs, those two individuals, and local entrepreneurs, but different. One produces repellent, Ria's Cosmetics, and this is for this is a substitute for, or alternative for, things like off and so forth that you use to for the mosquito bites and the sandfly and so on. Listen, if you use those products regularly, if you buy those products regularly and you're in the market for those products, please reach out to this young lady. I'm sure you would not be disappointed with the product. And there you have Vibes Cartel using taking her product and endorsing her and giving her support, and she was really, really happy for that. And also, Shernica Mayers, fantastic designer, does some really good work. She's on Instagram. They're both, by the way, on Instagram. And so you can go on Instagram and see these individuals and the products that they offer. And you can reach out to them if you so desire. But you have to be thankful and appreciate the value of what Vibes Cartel did for those young ladies. And not just for them, but others as well. And for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where he was able to endorse them, did you hear she said that she has no orders from Ghana, Africa, Australia, all over the place. And that is because someone who has a global influence was able to endorse her because of a product that she made. People who may not have ordinarily seen or heard of her. Now she has to think of logistics of shipping, and she has to think of getting a website so that people can order. Because now, having had that exposure, now, mind you, and I've said no a million times, but she said to you, she's been to New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, Fashion Caribbean and so forth. She has done the fashion rounds. She has done fashion shows. She's out there. She's been out there. She's been out there. She has that exposure. And now, this additional exposure, it's not a fashion show. It's not a fashion week. It's not one of the big name fashion shows, but it's a big name influencer from the region. And that is giving her so much exposure and put her in a whole different category. That's not the word. Different demographic of individuals who she previously didn't have access to. And the same can be said for Jariah Ria's cosmetics products. So, look, I mentioned this on Star this morning, and I think I did allude to it as well on Sunday, last Sunday when we had a show with Richard. And the point is that a lot of people talk, but when it comes to the action, there's none. There's all talk, and very often the talk comes from a place of hate. It's not from a genuine place. It's not from a genuine place. And so, while they talk about whether or not Vibes Cartel should be the face of SBG and so on, and we'll talk about that on Sunday. Yeah, if you have never tuned in, if you've never tuned in, there's a second show that is done on this platform. There's Uplift with Sion Marshall every Thursday night at 9, and there's a show every Sunday at 4 p.m. All right, so if you've never tuned in on a Sunday, make it a business to tune in this Sunday, 4 p.m., this same platform. All right, excuse me. So I mentioned that these individuals talk, but the talk is coming from a place of not a genuine, honest place, not a genuine, honest place, but a place of hate, where simply because it's the government and because of their hatred towards the government, they respond a particular way. But like Richard said on Sunday, and I agree, that there has not been a single negative as a result of Carter's visit. Not he has not broken any laws. He has not transmitted any negative words or deeds, but instead he's been very positive, promoting St. Vincent and the Grenadines, encouraging young people to stay from drugs, from our crime and violence. Excuse me. Teaming up with young professionals and giving them exposure. And as a people, we are grateful for that. This Sunday we'll go into a little bit of it more and look behind some of the criticisms. But for now, I'm just so happy for those two young ladies and for everybody else whose business, life, and so on will touch positively from the visit of this individual to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I really appreciate that. Let me thank again both our guests for appearing on tonight's show, and thank you, the viewers, for staying up late with Sion Marshall. Until next week, when I'm back with you with another edition of this program, it's good night for now.